This is the Male Review on Yale Radiocast.
And we're back here at Studio 7B, the Yale Radiocast, Yale Entertainment Network. We are here with the Male Review, and ladies and gentlemen, we are back for our next portion of this show. We have Brother Nemesi in the building today. Yeah. Brother Nemesi, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, doing well. Man.
All right. Welcome, brother. Hey, tell us a little bit about what you got going on. Tell us about yourself. Let's get some things.
Whoa. Allow me to introduce this guy. Look here, man. Let me circle this back to about 2016, right? You know what I'm saying? I went to over there the Specialist Television TV, and I was working with some brothers. My brother Willie Mack, shout out to my brother Willie Mack out there, right? You know what I'm saying? He like, hey D, I bet some cool cats out there, right? You know what I'm saying? They do some music and shit, and we gonna go out there and we gonna interact with them. They got a whole TV show out there, D. We gonna go and interact with them. Okay, Willie Mack, cause Willie Mack, that's how he talk. Dothan, Alabama. Okay. Okay. The dirty. You know what I'm saying? So I rise out there with my brother Willie Mack and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I meet this guy. This dude sitting in the corner, right? Real quiet, real humble, real quiet. You know what I'm saying? Cool and shit though. You know what I'm saying? I already posted a picture last week. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So he like, I'm like, what the hell this dude up to right here though? You know what I'm saying? Like, so he quiet and whatnot, sitting in the corner chilling.
Attention,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he watching everything. You know what I'm saying? My boys Josh and Josh performed, did they thing. You know what I'm saying? So it took a minute for me to interact with this brother.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I like, well, circle with me around because he might be here to blow some shit up.
Listen, we recognize each other. We recognize each other when we in the club because we done scoped out the exits.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he over there quiet though. By the time I touched base with him, you know what I'm saying? He told me his name is Nemesi or whatever. He told me what he do, and he was doing the same thing, promotions and music as well.
Okay.
So from that point, build a bond with this guy, man. This is my brother, Nemesi. You know what I'm saying? We always try to put some things together from each other because we had the same bond, we had the same goal. Found out we are all military brothers as well, just as everybody on this platform right now.
Okay.
So I want to personally introduce, because I've been trying to get him here to Yale Radiocast.
Here
my
he is.
Big homie, big brother, Nemesi, man. What's happening?
Man, what's going on?
Good?
I am thankful, bro. Thankful to just be in the middle of all of this conscious vibe, and man, you just been just a positive force, man. And I just want to commend you for staying steadfast in your vision, bro.
No doubt.
So yeah, man. So I'm just happy to be here, man. Happy to be here, man. And
welcome
ready
to
to
the
share,
show,
man. So,
yeah. So one thing I knew about him at that moment as an artist, you know what I'm saying, military veteran and an artist, you know what I'm saying, he shared some music with me back then, but then his visions grew and our visions grew, and they kind of just connected.
Okay.
The goals, and we started doing everything community based, you know what I'm saying? So Nemesi, where are you at right now with what you do, who you are, music, personal stuff, family, and everything? Because we got a circle into everything that you heard earlier, and where you represent as a family man and as a military veteran, and how it has affected and impacted and made you the person that you are today.
well, man, I'm going to start with this right here, man. I am very thankful that the Creator just created me to be able to stay consistent, man, in this life. And to make it beyond 25. I'm 50, man. So this year, I turned 50, and man, it's just been amazing to just be in a family, like I said, 30 years plus married.
Oh, so, that's beautiful.
So,
right,
I got a chance to be a part of the growth of my family and kids, and so I got the chance to interact and influence them. So they may stray away from it, but I'm just happy that I got a chance to be a part of that.
Right.
And they got a chance to be a part of everything that I've been involved in.
Right, which is great.
So I'll kick it off with just being thankful that my family kids got a chance to be a part of my journey.
Right.
Oh, that's beautiful, brother.
So that journey, man, the Soldier 23 project is what's current. So, and that is our initiative to reduce the number of suicides in the military community, because doing 26 years in, I didn't realize that the suicide rate was so bad. And that's Marines, that's Army, Air Force, Navy,
all that.
and Coast Guard. So I've been being an artist and being in music and all that good stuff, I got a chance to use that creativity to be expressive and channel those trauma from the Persian Gulf War.
Right.
So I was in one of those unique positions where, I was on the front lines, like some people can be in, but they never see the battle of war. So I'm very thankful, bro.
Absolutely.
So I got a chance to walk away from being at the top of the spearhead.
Okay.
So yeah, man. So that right there is it just gave me motivation to say I got trauma. So I'm listening to some of my early music, and I'm listening, man. And I was like, I had problems, man. you ever be creative and
realize, listen,
you capture that moment and you capture that feeling, that emotion in that moment, in that time.
No doubt.
And when you go back and you listen to that, you be like, man, thank God I got that out, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. Right. Well, who was that guy?
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, Nemesi, man, I think the traumas of Persian Gulf, like I was dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and depression.
Okay.
So I've been in those dark places where when you talk about being suicidal, trying to transition back into a family or civilian setting, very, very challenging when you never go and get the counseling or the help that you need. And so I was triggered by watching a movie with my daughters, man, and it just blew up. I felt it. Some people, like, I don't know, they may be faking it, but to see all of the mechanics of the machines moving, it just put me right back in that place where I was dealing with those traumas. So again, man, the Soldier 23 project is all about helping people be able to tap into their traumas and deal with it creatively. So that really inspired me, along with seeing soldiers in Army Entertainment, and the Air Force had Tops and Blues. So that was their version where they had their troops go and be creative.
Right.
Okay.
No doubt.
So yeah, man. So that's what's going on with that now. One of the things I want to highlight, man, is we're working on a series. It's called Veterans Unspoken Rules Broken.
Okay.
So Unspoken Rules Broken is something I'm truly excited about doing for the Soldier 23 because it is a visual series that highlights our journey as we deal with it real time.
Right.
Okay.
And I'll give you an example. Like I would say, one of the things we do, we help veterans get their VA benefits straight.
Okay.
So an example would be is I had another brother that I knew. He did 10 years in the Navy. I did 20 something in the Army, but I had been encouraging him to go get his benefits for years. So an example would be he never went to go and get it, but he went through 2 marriages. Now he calls me when he's about to lose, like 2 days before he's about to lose his house. Want me to help him. And so my I want to help him, but immediately I go to, bro, look, I've been trying to get you to get on your thing.
You would have been.
Your money is sitting right there.
Right.
So the premise of the show again is to go and recapture that. Like,
no doubt.
What was that brother going through, like in his life, like
that kind of diverted him from actually doing that.
Absolutely, yeah. And then on our side, just to capture both sides, this is what it looked like when you have somebody that have the resources that I can help you. Yeah, but like they say, you can take a horse to water, you can't make them drink.
That's the truth.
So I got the resources. So my frustration is
trying to get him to the resources.
He triggers my post-traumatic stress disorder.
Okay, yeah. I got you.
Like when he calls me now, I'm gonna have an episode with him. So now you got these 2 people that's
right because of the stress and the tension.
But I want to be able to do that in a series where it really highlights not only that person's journey, so we can follow that brother all the way through a whole journey,
Right, no doubt.
At the end of that journey is to show, well, look, he came through the 23, and this is how he got help. So at the other side of the journey, hey, he got it 100% on his VA benefits.
Okay.
He getting that $3,300 a month.
Okay.
So he can take care of his mortgage, kids, so his quality of life, as far as financial independence,
no doubt,
is a lot better. So reducing those anxieties and
that's
stress.
fantastic, brother. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Man,
Just go ahead and definitely thank you for your service on this All Countries Matter.
All Countries Matters Saturday.
So we definitely appreciate your service, brother.
Yeah,
thank
man.
you.
TR, are you there, T?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Okay, you got any questions or anything you want to say about what you heard? If you heard everything clear from TR?
Yes, I do. And it's kind of towards, I hate to beat my brother up so much because he's already been beat up today. but we and Dylan have had a round and round trying to encourage each other, my brother, to get to the point where we do file and we do. I mean, we honestly, Dylan, need to set something up as a link or whatever and get with this brother to put something on our page or something like that. Would you be inclined, brother, to help poor, ignorant folks like me and Dylan
and Mark
to
Hill
get off our butts and go ahead and do our due diligence?
Yes.
Hey, bro, I'm here to motivate and inspire, man. Hey, so if it take that, hey, it's your money, it's your security, it's your family. So how much do you care about your family? What are you willing to do?
Yeah.
So that should be your motivator right there.
That's our reparations. So I'm on that list too. I'm on that list too.
Well, now here's that kind of brings rise to a good question that I want to ask you. So while you've been dealing with this program, and you, like you said, you had a brother who was having a problem. I'm sure that's not the only story you have that's even remotely close to that. Here's the thing, because we're talking about it, we're kind of joking about it, but I know I need to go. I got some benefits out there from the VA, and I got a couple of friends that work for the VA that have been definitely like, man, you need to go ahead and sign up. What do you think overall? What have you heard? What is the reason why most veterans have just said, I'm not going? I'm going to tell you, for me, I mean, I've been hearing stories about the VA for so long. I come from a long line of military people. Oh, the VA ain't doing shit. It's some bullshit. You go down there, you got to do this. The doctors don't do that. They ain't really trying to give you your money. You ain't got time to do that. Because, see, what happened is you get out of the military, you transition into being a civilian, you start working. And, I mean, I'm going to throw in there just basically just thinking American-like, not taking a handout. Not to say that we didn't earn it, but just that whole process, because a lot of folks is quick to say, I'm going to just file my unemployment. And to me, that sounds like you giving up. So I think almost the same way. And it is stupid. It really is stupid. But do you think there's a block there for veterans that just decide, I don't feel like going down there. I don't feel like waiting in the line. You can do that shit online now. All the people I know in the VA like, look, go online and fill out your thing. DD-214, everything already there. You can get it from here. You can do whatever. So really, all you got to do is just ain't nothing to it but to do it. What do you think is the biggest challenge that you've seen from the brothers or sisters that you've dealt with?
Well, I'll say this right here, man. This is one of those reasons why we're doing the series. It's called Veterans Unspoken Rules Broken. It's because, like, the unspoken rules that we have to break is like suck it up and drive on.
Okay.
So you learn that type of mentality in the military. Suck it up, drive on, don't go get help. Those are the rules that I'm talking about breaking.
Adapt and overcome.
Adapt, improvise, and overcome. That's what we do.
Yeah. So when we transition out, we sort of it's just to our default. We like transition out and we practice at getting good at bad habits on the outside. So when we carry those on, they really manifest. So I did groups of Vietnam veterans. I used to meet with them every Tuesday. I would meet with a group of them. And it's the same thing.
There's some deep cats, boy.
They don't want to go to the VA because in their mind they're stuck in the VA like 50 years ago. Right, and that's what I think. And it's just like being around somebody like in relationships that ain't got no significant other, but they always giving you
relationship advice.
But see, you one thing is the VA is nowhere near what it was 50 years ago. There is so much growth.
Is it perfect? No.
What I find is, again, you got again, you people like to measure. I'm medical. I was a combat medic. I was a nurse, physical therapy. So my whole years of this medical. So I know the care side of it.
Okay.
My thing is, hey man, we are busy, so focused on holding something else accountable when we're not doing the same to ourselves.
Okay.
You'll hold the VA to a higher standard than you're holding yourself to.
Gotcha.
It was created for you. It's created for you.
Right.
So my thing is, there are millions of dollars that are left on the table because, the truth be told, you did earn it. They should take care of it.
Yeah.
I do not feel bad helping anybody that served more than 6 months. Once they reach over that 6 month term, they are military veterans once they get out.
You basically wrote the government a blank check and said, take me.
So, man, here's the thing, man. It's simple. It's little stuff that we don't learn. Like anything in your medical records or your medical history that you have been seen for twice or more, you can put in a VA claim for it.
Okay. Okay.
So.
Well, I think that I can speak for myself. When I felt like once I got out that I felt like they don't owe me nothing. They don't owe me nothing. I don't owe them nothing.
Right. Just want to be done with it.
Yard. You know. So yeah. I mean, you know, could you say something to the people out there that I don't think like that anymore? But I have gotten rejected once, and I'm going back for my knee and my back for starters. So anyway, could you say something just to get somebody's mind straight on that level?
Oh, okay. Let me say this right here, man. We all have families, bro. So my thing is, you were away from your family, whatever. I don't care if it was boot camp, and you were reprogrammed to function differently than before you left. And you're gonna carry those traditions over into your life. And you see, here's the thing: you got to accept some things, man. See, this is like I think on the lines of like police brutality. When you're dealing with the mindset of a military person that joins the police force versus a civilian person that is groomed to serve and protect civilians. Military people, even, you know, and we join young sometimes, and we don't get the full totality of understanding this is what I'm in. But true to form, you are taught to go out and kill people.
Yeah,
right.
Your whole induction into the military culture is designed for you to shoot, move, and communicate.
Yeah.
So if you don't think that they'll call your behind back for that cause if they need you, hey, I'm telling you, you better take care of your family. So your family, if nothing else, even if you don't think you deserve it, hey, do it for your families, man. Do it for your families. Absolutely. I don't care if it's your mom, brother, cousin. They have to deal with your behind. Like, if something sincerely happens to you, where you fall into that dark space, or God forbid, you get injured, or some of these old injuries are aggravated, and you have to, and it's really impacting your quality of life. Who do you think is going to take up the slack?
Yeah, your family.
And see,
you're right.
And that is the wrong time to go after benefits. Don't go out after stuff when you're in pain, man.
Right, when you absolutely need it.
Hey, man, get that stuff straightened out. You know, it's don't go when you're in pain and you're hurting, and now you got to try to go dig through records and history and pull stuff together, and because then you're going to start just reacting and think people are not doing their jobs,
right,
and not understanding it's a process.
Okay.
So, brother, I have a question for you, and I'm glad that you're laying it out and that we're talking about this. And T, I'd like to commend you, because when I got out of the service, there was a whole lot of people that I owed ass whoopings.
You think you ain't owed them nothing, but I owed a few ass whoopings.
So I'm glad that I've grown into some peacefulness, and you know, I've evolved as a person since then. So I'd like to commend you, brother, for saying that you don't owe nobody nothing, they don't owe you nothing. So I owe people, and the service still owes me. But see, as an entrepreneur and as an artist, like, I'm one of those that says I don't want to deal with the headache because I do what I enjoy, and now my time is about doing what I love, doing what I like, and teaching others how to do the same. But brother, you've motivated me to say, okay, this is what's owed to you. You put that time in. I did almost 9 years in the Air Force. So you motivated me. So what I'd like to ask you is this. What do you recommend as the first step for somebody that hadn't been dealing with the system to say, okay, this is where you start? What do you recommend for those folks?
Well, one of the first things that I would personally recommend is that you go to the VA and get registered. And it doesn't take forever. You know, just go to the VA and get registered in their systems.
You can do it online now, right?
Go to the VA.
Go up there. You recommend going
down
to the offices.
Go down to Claremont Road.
Yep.
Down in Decatur. Go down there and just tell them you want to get registered in the system.
Okay.
And once you're registered in the system, then tell them you want to be assigned a healthcare provider.
Okay.
And at that point they'll ask you, where do you live at, and they will assign you a healthcare provider, close to wherever you live at.
Okay.
So they have them at McPherson, they have them at Carrollton, they have them in Marietta. So they have. If you live in any of these areas, you don't have to go all the way to Decatur every time for treatment.
Right.
So getting registered in the system, that's the first step. The other step is if you have, if you kept your records, like your medical records. I encourage people, and I kept everything, man. I'm just one of those guys.
Now, how would I go about getting them? I mean, if I didn't. But go ahead.
Yeah. It's a way that you can request them.
Okay.
And if you get like your e-benefits account and all those things set up, you're still in the system. But even if you're not in that system, it's another way you can get your records from St. Louis. But I would say again, if you have any medical records, any medical history, pull that stuff together. If you have like your physical from MEPS.
Wow.
That's powerful right there.
I'll say this, know they lose medical records.
Man, listen.
Because, as somebody who's been struck by lightning,
right?
Yeah,
right,
that explains a lot, right?
Now
y'all get it. Now y'all get it.
But they lose medical records, true. But here's another thing they won't teach you. You should keep in contact with the people that are in your units, because if they can write a statement as a witness to whatever injury you had, all they do is write a statement. It becomes a medical document.
Okay.
Support.
See?
Or like you said, you was married before. She was also a witness to that.
Shout out to my brother James Urban. He was there online. He was there. He don't have.
Hey, have them write those statements, because those statements become real important when it comes down to substantiating a medical history.
Okay.
Very important, man. Very important.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
Well, Brother Nemesi, I don't know if you realize, but you wasn't sent here for the radio. You were sent here for them brothers in that room.
Yes.
And them brothers.
You were sent here for us.
Every last one of us needs you right now. And that ain't no joke.
But that's why the Soldier 23 project is so great, because I mean, hey, that would have been awesome to have, around the time I got out, because I mean, like I said, it's not a sense of shame. It's not a thing like I don't deserve it. It's just that, okay, I'm going on with my life.
We are taught to be
to just pick up and go on.
And I think that's and overcome.
Yes, it.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've completed this process. So now it's
time to start a new process.
Now, you know what? This kind of circles back to the previous topics of the type of men that we are.
No doubt.
Of how we kind of like handle some things as the men that we are. Like, we just kind of like, we gonna take care of it. But
that's just it. We're not taking care of it, though.
Yeah.
Right. But
we like to feel like we can tell.
This is something that's left on the table.
Absolutely.
Right.
Imagine all of the veterans that have passed and died. I'm looking at like those Vietnams that I talked to and meet. They were actually like injured, like in Vietnam and all of this.
Purple Heart and all. Right.
They ain't getting nothing. They hadn't gotten any benefits.
Right.
And they are grandfathered into a lot of things. Like they can go in and just like I just told you guys, going to register, they already qualify for a certain level of VA benefits.
Okay.
Because they were exposed to Agent Orange.
Yes, they were.
So if they're having like symptoms with diabetes or different types of things,
they're
automatically grandfathered over into getting 80, 100%,
Okay.
What did I say? That's $3,300 a month.
Yeah.
And there was some that they were back paying.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Now you talking Agent Orange? You talking Trump?
Hey,
Worse. No, actually, is it worse? I don't know.
That is the Orange Ranger. Understand the difference, okay?
Okay.
Understand Agent Orange and Orange
We
Ranger.
turned political. We went from military to okay.
Question though, with everything that you've been through in your military journey, and this being the Mail Review, and coinciding with the topic that we talked about earlier, how has who you've been and what you've dealt with affect or impacted you as a father and a husband and a figure in the household?
Well, I'll tell you what, the impact has been life altering for me.
Okay.
And then that's coming from, like you said, you did 9 years. Initially, I did 9 years and transitioned to reserve and went back. But I never went to get any psychiatric help. I never talked to the psychologist, psychiatrist, never did any groups. So my family transitioning back in, I was not accustomed to the way they operated.
Yeah. Right. Oh, boy.
You know,
Listen.
So when I left and I came back, and this is the thing they teach you is when you're not, then you think you don't deserve it. But see, here's the thing: they have to function and operate and survive when you're absent.
Right.
Now, I had to come back into that, and they didn't do it the way they did it when I was there.
Right.
So everything, I can't stand like disrespectful kids, man. I can't stand it.
Yeah, no, me neither.
So when I came back into it, and you said, how does it impact me? I came back into it, and my daughter, they had animals, they had dogs, and they weren't there when I left, but they were there. So now the dog peed on the floor, and my wife told my youngest daughter to clean it up. And then my youngest daughter, she did this thing where it was that neck roll, and then it was that, like she didn't want to do it.
Look, he's stretching right now, like
So now I was warned. They said, don't just go back and jump into it. Just let things just float. But
that was hard.
She went and got the stuff, and she did a half-ass job.
Oh no!
So, not for a military man.
Not for a military man.
So when she did that, I felt like I needed to step in.
Right.
And I stepped in. I said, well, you missed something over there. You didn't clean it all up. So I wasn't dressing the disrespect. I was just dressed like you didn't clean it up.
Right.
But she took the whole body language and gestures and transformed it in my direction. What?
Oh,
I don't see.
Oh no!
Nah, I blacked out. And when I woke up,
but she's still alive. So
amen,
bro. When I woke up, I had her hair in my hand, and I had pushed her head down to every place where I saw.
Wow.
Pits. Now, so what it did was, I saw my daughter. I mean, disintegrated, man. Like disintegrated. Her whole essence, her being, and then it just took me back into my childhood, which my pops was. He didn't tolerate anything, but you don't need to be that way with everything.
No doubt.
Gotcha.
No doubt.
But it triggered you. It did trigger you. Yeah.
And what more triggered me was my behavior. Like I said, at that point, I said, I need to go get help.
I need to talk to somebody.
Somebody's going to get hurt.
Something's going on.
So that right there pushed me to go talk to, hey, man, I signed up for anger management.
Yeah.
I went to the psychiatrist, followed up with the psychologist. So we went and peeled back all of those layers. And, so I got to say that I would like to encourage anybody out there dealing with any type of trauma, man. That trauma, hey, is real.
Look,
so be it physical, sexual, verbal, mental, whatever that trauma. If you hadn't dealt with it, hey, get some help.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, brother, that's big.
That's huge. I was gonna say, because I mean, like what you're talking about, definitely. One thing, and it just doesn't. It doesn't just touch on the military, but the fact, you definitely brought up the point that we are reprogrammed in that time frame in which we go to boot camp and then into the actual fleet. Okay, we are reprogrammed, but trauma is a thing that covers far beyond the military. Because I mean, like, even unless you live under a rock, we know what's going on right now. But hell, it's been going on, right?
Right.
So I think collectively we suffer from a form of PTSD. I think collectively we should all talk to somebody. But definitely if you went from, we were already suffering, like you said, you went through it with your father. I'm pretty sure he wasn't in the military with you at the same time he was in the military per se. But I'm saying you went through that then. You already had a form of PTSD at that point. Same with me, probably same with either of you, however we were raised.
Well, that's perfect.
Already had a form of PTSD, and then we turned and said, "You know what? Let me sign my name on this dotted line and let you, and I'm going to allow you to give me more PTSD."
Yeah.
Well, we didn't know what we was dealing with then.
PTSD was my parents whooped that ass.
But I'm saying,
but, you know, but
I'm saying,
like
same deal.
Listen,
but I mean, it
was traumatizing.
Yeah, 17, 18. Unless it's like extreme of physical abuse, constantly, you don't know you're dealing with some trauma.
Right.
Now we can look back at everything that we dealt with as black men.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Growing up in poverty.
Yes.
And then we go into the military.
Yes.
And we're defending our country.
Right.
Then we come back home, and then they don't give us the rights as black men that defended our country on this All Countries Matters Day.
Yeah, okay, right on.
And then we're still fighting for these same rights. How you feel about that right now?
Well, man, I feel like this right here, man. Going back to one aspect you said, the trauma, you have to understand it, because I hated my dad. Like, so what I'm saying is you have to understand the trauma. Sure, we don't get it. Growing up, they may get you and you may feel some kind of way, but when we don't get a chance to deal with that and say, well, really, this is why I was disciplined.
Okay.
To the level, except for internalizing it as a child, and then what you're doing is regurgitating what you internalized as a child and holding on to those emotions and feelings.
Yeah.
But yeah, you carry those things over into the military.
Yes, and that just intensifies them.
And then coming back,
brother, I
to
can
the
tell you a
civilian
story.
side.
I could tell you a story. Lord have mercy.
Coming back and dealing with those traumas, man. So it's just layers and layers of trauma. Traumatized people that don't get a chance to peel back the layers.
Yeah.
Because you don't get a chance to breathe.
Dude.
I can't breathe. But
literally.
I'm just saying.
Literally.
So we going there, man, and the whole thing is, man, and you covered it beautifully. Like, I recognize, like, looking back on everything, that I was traumatized before I even joined the military.
Long before that.
Like, because I come out of a violent environment, right? So it's not. And it wasn't my mother, it was just the environment that I was in.
Right.
Like, outside of my door were pimps and hustlers and killers and jack boys and all of that stuff. And that started to be my life until we moved into the country out of the city. Right. But what happened.
You did.
And it was there.
It affected
and I got a
you.
chance to see it. And then I started perpetuating it. And then I'm like, I just want to leave this. Not addressing it. I just want to leave this. Okay. So I took it to the military. And then on top of that, being programmed. A program on top of some dysfunction. You see what I mean? So that's great that you talked about that, man. And I use art as a conduit. I had to sit down and talk about these things and address it, not indirectly, but directly, so we can get some healing going on. And that's why I'm a proponent for that. Like, as a holistic relationship coach, because when people hear relationship coach, they think it's about man and a woman in relationship. No, the first relationship is your relationship with yourself.
Absolutely.
As an adult.
Absolutely.
Then that relationship perpetuates into a relationship with a woman or with a man, and so forth and so on, and everything else around you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So speak to how important it was for you to sit down with somebody to really discover these things and how you applied it to life when you got back home.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a rough process initially, because I was going to the groups and the things that I'm listening to other people. Again, I'm pretty much reserved. I'm gonna sort of analyze everything before I open to the process. But I was getting frustrated because I felt like the troops that were coming through hadn't gone through anything. I'm like, you know, and I shouldn't have been like that. Right. But I'm like, man, look, I'm wrestling with bodies for real. I'm wrestling with people getting blown up with so many other, you know, elements and this is what you bring to the table.
Right.
So that was probably more frustrating to me than anything. But once I got down to my own traumas, I was able to open up to that. And what they look, we always go around. Like I was going around thinking nobody understood.
Right.
Like nobody understand me. Nobody understand blah blah blah. And this one counselor, she's like, Mr. Baskin, you ain't that special.
Broke you down, stripped you down to the studs.
She's like, you're not that special. It's not that hard. You are a no nonsense kind of person. Your personality is this, and this. And we can get beyond that. You need to understand that, everybody's not going to react the way you react, and vice versa. But that's okay. Now she's like, why are you so angry? And then she broke it. They said, look, this is what she said. She's like, now, what if a person cut you off as you was driving your car, and they cut your car off and almost made you have an accident? What would you do? That was the question posed to the group. Everybody was like, man, I'll run that. Hey, I got to do what I got to do.
Yeah.
And now, but now she was like, now let's get to the emotion of it. How do you feel about what just happened?
Inside.
That's important.
So now, it was a little uncomfortable because then what her response was, she was like, people are not angry at them pulling the car over in front of them. That's not what you're angry about.
Right.
You're angry at how it makes you look, how you feel as it makes you look in relations to what happened.
Now that's a thought right there.
So it takes away your power base.
Okay.
Now how does that make you feel when you're powerless?
Angry.
And then again, they was like, well, how does it make you feel when you only have a very small toolbox to pull from to say this is how you're gonna deal with this?
Right.
You're gonna deal with it in a way that is very negative. So if you're gonna go run them down and beat them down, how is that going to impact you, your family, the people around you, so forth? You're not thinking with that vision, So I said, so what you're saying is I'm not mad at them cutting me off. So if I come up there and slap the shit out of you, I say,
I'm not
you're
mad
not
at
going to
you.
be mad at me.
Right.
You're going to be mad at it the way it makes you feel in relation
That I just
to what I just did.
in the face.
So,
Right. So what was that response?
What's that, T-Up?
And I've actually heard that a different way. I've heard that explained. You never fix temporary problems with permanent solutions.
Okay.
If you got something that's kind of just lightweight or whatever, and then that to me, when I was told that, it kind of evolved into, what are you really mad at? You know what I'm saying? Are you upset and trying to fix the whole world, try to blow up the whole world just because you got to hang there?
Right.
Like I say, I mean, I've heard that explained a different way, but I dig what you're saying, my brother.
Oh yeah, brother. I always knew what my thing was. I always knew I was never a very tall man, so I carried a chip on my shoulder. So my thing is this.
Well, I didn't.
Yeah. So you get wrapped up in the presence and the whole spiritual thing, So I appear much taller, but I'm not really 10 feet.
It's like me. I'm skinny, but I'm round husky.
That's all in your mind. So I knew I was dealing with that, but where I come from, like, you gotta prove.
Right.
Your presence means something. Like, you either strong or you weak.
That's that masculinity talking.
You're either powerful or you're not. So that's the environment that I come out of.
Right.
And I carried that chip even when I was in a different environment.
Yes.
That didn't call for that.
Right.
So I always knew what it was. My problem was addressing it. No, ain't nothing wrong with me. It's something wrong with everybody else that think that they gonna disrespect me.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's the issue.
The audacity.
Yeah. How dare I have to look down at you to talk to you?
Right.
But then when I boiled it down, it was, no, I'm feeling a way based on not height, not what they did, but how I was taught survival was supposed to be.
Okay.
Which was all rooted in dysfunction.
Yep. Yep.
Right? Because when I boiled it down, like, I really didn't feel a way. I just felt that I always had to prove something.
Right.
Right, and it wasn't even to myself.
Right.
So when you start unpacking all of this stuff, I'm like, this is foolishness.
Yeah.
It becomes powerful, man. This is one of the most powerful things that I love from that group is they ask everybody. The question again put on the table was, describe yourself. And I swear to you, man, 99% of the class or the group describe themselves starting with negativity. I'm fat. I'm short. I'm bald. I'm this. And they said give 3 adjectives to describe yourself. And for the most part, everybody's adjectives on describing themselves, nobody said I'm powerful, I'm strong, I'm beautiful, I'm this, I'm that. It was all negative, man. All negative. I said all of us need to be here because we sick.
We all need to be here.
But you think about it.
That's crazy.
If you get a group of people together and you put questions like that out there, it's something that it'll cut you to your soul if you're in tune with it. It's like, damn, this is where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's the funny part about it, because I never had a less than outlook on self. Like I always felt like I was somebody. I always felt a certain way about myself. Partial is because the people that were looking at me didn't feel a certain way about me. So I'm like, well, shit. Who are they?
Now the question,
the
question I would ask you is, this has a lot to do with your circle, though, and a lot of things to do with, as you said, your past upbringing. Were you going to fight that upbringing by lifting yourself up anyways, or you going to fall victim to what you heard other people say about you? That plays a part in it, because I always heard I was ugly. I agreed. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever it might have been, I didn't have a lot of money, and this stuff was true. So it might impact people differently, because you want to be liked. Everybody wants to be liked, want to be loved, want to be appreciated. But when all you hear is negativity about you, you know what I'm saying, you start to believe it, or you might say, let me overcome this.
Right. So that was always my disposition. Like whatever I'm faced with, it was always a very alpha outlook on things. Well, this ain't gonna define me. That don't define me. You don't define me. I define myself. Right. So who do you think you are? And then that's where the chip came into play.
See, I always feel
but it wasn't to prove it to myself. It was just a reaction to the environment.
Okay. In order to make sure you fit in the proper spot in the environment.
Right, like I want you to understand.
You know how I understand how those environments work. You either eating or you being eaten.
I actually think that
that's it.
I actually think that has created who I am now, because for years it impacted me and made me for a long time think that I had to be what somebody thought of me. Then at somewhere, I can't say down the line, maybe it was when I was struck by lightning in the military, somewhere down the line, I said, F what other people thought about me. I am going to be who I am, and you can actually not like it, but that does not mean that I'm going to change who I am. You know, now I will continue to better myself, but I would not better myself to make myself look good to you. You know, I think that comes with a bit of self-struggle and maturity that we all have to actually grow up and kind of figure out along our own whatever journeys it may be, because we all got different journeys as all military men. All of us are. So something had to happen to each one of us to say, hey, what can change in my world to make me feel more better about myself, or feel like I don't have to be somebody for somebody else. You know?
But sometimes we get lost in the traumas, bro. This is like you were saying, well, I didn't feel this way or that way about this, but when you are lost in the trauma of maybe, like, let's say a negative stigma, like growing up, they say you're black, you're like, and then they didn't just leave it there. They put ass on the end with your black.
Listen,
what I'm saying,
when your mama call your friend house and say, tell him bring his black ass.
Look, it wasn't. So what I'm saying is, people get, when you are lost in the trauma. And this is why that group was there, to deal with the traumas. So this is why when they said, "Well, give me the adjectives," you so lost in the trauma that you're not lost yourself. So you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even with you saying, "Well, look, I had a problem. I was short, but I didn't have a problem until they showed me. They taught me I had a problem.
Right.
I didn't really have no problem. They taught me.
Yeah.
But you said you developed a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
So even when you peel back the layers, maybe you come across it may be confidence or whatever, but you're still dealing with a trauma. Well, maybe not now. You don't learn how to cope or deal with it.
Right. No doubt.
But when people get lost in the traumas, man, I can see how their first pull out their toolbox is something negative.
Yeah.
Right.
So and that's where the healing got to take place. Say, look.
Right. So yeah, you absolutely on point. So my reaction to that was this. No, you say I'm less than. No, I'm gonna show you that you less than.
But why?
But why? I mean, are they really less than?
Like they said, what is the point of showing them that they're less than?
Because they were looking to marginalize my outlook on myself with how you see me. So I'm gonna reverse that. Now it is very reactionary. So I was able to break that down and see that that's what it was. But my thing is this: no, you're not gonna make me feel away. Like at the end of the day, you gonna feel away.
I'm gonna call you a Nemesi clone at this point.
Right.
This is what they're telling me. What they're saying is, you see, it's just like I said when the car pulled me over, ran in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Now I could get mad and say, man, let me get them, because in my head I'm saying, now they knew better. They just out here being reckless, and now I got my interpretation of what they're thinking.
No doubt.
Now they could have had an emergency. Mm-hmm. They could have had a bee in the car, anything.
Right.
But I already got it wrapped up what they was thinking, feeling, the whole nine.
Oh, you trying me?
Yeah.
See, it may not be that everybody projected that particular thing off on you. Maybe you develop. And maybe that, it pushes you to where you are now. But what I'm just saying is the traumas are important to just stand on your own. Like, okay, it don't matter what you think. I don't have to prove anything to you.
Right. See, I knew,
that's the healing.
With unpacking all of that stuff, you're absolutely on point. See, with mine, it was just like, it was only different in this respect. Like, I'm gonna make you respect me and my position, because it wasn't the trauma that was telling me that this thing was not specifically true. Like, I would be approached like, hey, what's up, little nigga? so literally my nickname became Lil Big Man. That's what my nickname became.
Shut up, T.R.
Based on me raising my
tell us something about this shit, T.R.
Shut up, T.R.
So that's
hold
what
up.
it was.
Let me do a little back search. So Sincere and Brother TR served kind of together. So they know each other well, which is odd, because we all have a bond through the military, which is through their bond, which is how I met Sincere, and through my bond that I met individually through Nemesi and Mark L is now how we came to this table at this moment. I just want to say I appreciate this moment right now.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
You found me in front of the liquor store, remember? Earlier.
I mean, I didn't have $5 for you. I just figured I could bring you in. Maybe you can make some money and buy your own liquor.
I appreciate it.
But no, just to kind of lighten the load, man, I want to go into a lot of the stuff that Nemesi has going on. You know what I'm saying? As a art, because we could talk about this all day. We know how we do.
It's not going to happen. We just going to have to ask Nemesi to come back.
Well,
hey, as long as he's willing to come back.
It's your due diligence to get us straight. It is your due diligence. You are our brothers. You are our key.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I think he should come back just to make sure we did what we said we was gonna do.
He will do that.
He was like, I want to see them e-benefits. I want to see what you did.
Well, knowing him like I do, he has a very busy schedule and a celebrity of sorts, and it's hard for me to call this guy and for him to answer the phone. And
Mark L needs more help than just today.
But
there is no help for me, man. I done told you.
But I do want to go into his musical journey. Let's go into his musical journey.
All right.
Because we have musicians here at the table and poetry and everybody who has all our talents, because we could go into the personal, all our struggles and all our personal issues. Like I say, this will be a whole.
We'll be doing this show until the next all countries matter day.
You know what I'm saying? So let's go into your musical journey, guy, because I want to play some of this great music that we have by Nemesi, man.
Let's do it.
How did you get involved in music? What led you to doing it? Who did you hear? Like to say, I really appreciate, R&B, hip hop, and everything, and your influences, man. Tell us about that.
Well, I got to tell you, like I said, man, I'm thankful that I had two real strong parents. So my mom was creative, so she was a creative force. So she was writing, and she used to play multiple instruments. So I used to just observe. She didn't really pull us into that to like force that on us or anything like that. And it was just an interesting way that I saw her deal with her troubles, and it's just sort of kept my interest. So I got into it, man. I got into a few groups where I started to write different songs and all of this in Germany. So that's when I really got serious about it. And it just spiraled from there, man. I did a couple of projects over there. I did videos, some CDs back in the early 90s. And they were on top of CDs and all of that stuff back then. So I felt like I was ahead of the power curve.
No doubt.
But coming from Mississippi, man, that's when I found my voice.
Bro, you from Mississippi?
From the SIP, man, all day.
Bro, I'm from Jackson.
Oh,
Man, my lady from around that way from Jackson. Okay,
I know a guy named Mike Jones.
Hey, Mike Jones. Hey, well, I got to tell you, man, that's where I found the voice in my creative aspirations were because again, Mississippi is one of those places.
Listen,
creatively, it's either gonna make you great or make you great.
The Delta is where the blues come from, right? Okay.
So I actually grew up in a small place called Kilmichael. My grandfather, B.B. King, grew up in the same place. So
I got a story about that.
So it just pushed me, man, to be socially engaged. Like I said, my old man, he inspired us to be conscious. Like when he got off work, he would be like, man, I come in here, but not see no plan.
Right.
When I come in, y'all better know the preamble to the Constitution, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th Amendment.
Ooh.
Or when I come in, y'all better know the Gettysburg Address.
Wow.
You want to struggle against it, but when he got off, it was 7 years ago.
Okay, then, right, yeah.
On this continent, a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
Say that again.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
And look, I said 7 years ago. Our father said so all we the people of the United States, we had to know all of those things, and it just, this is where Fannie Lou Hamer was beaten at.
No doubt.
So my writing started to embody the voice of the writing was inspired by the have and the have-nots. It was inspired by the whole 70s movements, the whole civil rights and all of that. So it was pretty much trying to embody that in the current my journey, I guess.
Shoot, man. Mega Ever's another one of our heroes.
No doubt,
man.
all day, every day.
I take them with me. I stand on the shoulders of them.
All day, every day.
Right on, man. Right on.
So it just sort of, man. So fast forward that to moving to Atlanta. I ran into this guy Darnell Carpets. He's a Marine.
Hoorah.
So they have shout out to TST.
Explain what TST is.
TST, the Specialist TV Network.
Yes, that's where I met this guy.
Yeah, man. So prior to that network, him going down. Me and Darnell used to get together, and he used to provide some music and some stuff, and we just hooked up, man. So we hooked up with Tupac Shakur's family, and we started doing a lot of stuff on the civilian side of that. So then it was T.I., Grand Hustle. So we started getting in that circle, man. So they started loving the music that I was doing, and when Miss Afeni Shakur came and endorsed. I mean, they supported, my sound.
Right.
And they actually, so thankful that they put it. They actually let him put it in the Tupac Center.
Okay.
So they made it in there for, so it made me feel good.
Over there on Memorial Drive.
Yes.
Yes.
Memorial Drive.
Yes.
So as an artist, man, I just felt like creatively, even though I hadn't gotten my recording up to industry standards because we know equipment costs money,
yes,
I felt like the content
is king, man.
It spoke for itself. So that circle, that sort of pushed the music, man.
Okay.
So currently, I have the Concentrated Vibes album that was actually released. It was released June of last year.
Mm-hmm.
June of last year. So this is about to be the anniversary of it. So
yeah,
some very powerful content, and the crazy thing about it, man, is so relevant till right now.
Look,
no doubt.
We're gonna play that.
We're gonna give a little bit of sounds. I got a couple of tracks, you know what I'm saying, and I am glad to be a part of what this guy does, you know what I'm saying. He always hit me up like, D, I got this track right here, and I be getting this music first, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I be getting this music first, and I'm like, oh snap, man, like, cause it's music.
Yes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and I just want, you know what I'm saying, Yale Radiocast's goal has always been to push talent.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And content. Music will always be here.
Right.
Content is what what has changed.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Even
and brother, let me drop this in here. Since we got two Mississippians at the table, I like to say that Mississippi is the birthplace of America's music.
I won't deny that. I love it.
Now I want folks to know that. Now
listen.
Round the corner from Pensacola.
The genre was born. America's
ahead.
music genre was born right here in Mississippi.
Okay.
Ain't that where the crossroads
so I
at?
to put that
I'm just saying. Ain't that where the crossroads
Yeah.
at?
Yeah. We had Roy Jones saying y'all must have forgot. Anyways. But so what you want to go with? Nemesi, we want to go with Get in Line or Feel So Good to Be Blessed, man.
You know what?
Tell me what you feeling.
You know what, man? Let's go with. We can do So Good to Be Blessed. That's cool.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna tell you that was a break. It really gave me a break from being so charged with the social economics and all of that.
Right.
So it gave me a break to sort of recalibrate myself.
Right.
Yeah. So that's appropriate.
All right, so that's what we're going to ride into, man. This is Yale Radiocast, the mail review. For the listeners watching on the live feed, you have to go into YaleRadiocast.com. Click that listen live. You're going to hear all the content because I know y'all can't hear Brother TR because he's calling in from the back cave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the caller is, if y'all want to hear your boy Darling Yale get dragged, you got to call in because the caller's calling back.
Yeah, you out there.
And the musical content. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to ride into this song. My God, Nemesi, So Good to Be Blessed. Go to us on the live feed, YaleRadiocast.com, man. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get some of these concentrated vibes.
It feels so good to be alive. Just to breathe. Just to see. Yeah. So good to be blessed. Yeah, listen, so good to be blessed in a world full of stress. This is how I keep my head up, I live to give. Cause mama said, baby, when you're grown, the Lord will never leave you alone. And I'm so thankful that you gave me breath. One more day so I can live what's left. This is when you know you got favor. One more chance to praise the Savior. So grateful to see my kids grow up. The most beautifulest thing in this world, what's up? I see you in the middle of the troubled times, good times, Lord, we on your time. Peace be still. How many people in the world know he's real? Hey, you brought me from a mighty long way. Hey, living in the world, Lord, every day. I know you ain't finished with me yet. I'm gonna cross that road when you say I'm ready. Still I'm blessed. Lord, still I'm blessed.
if you didn't understand the pain in your neighborhood every day. Hoping you can make a change with the man in the mirror, he ain't the same. A hard head can make you learn a lesson, that's a true confession. If you don't know, it's time to be a blessing. To the people you meet in the streets, the homeless begging to eat. Time to be a better neighbor. Hey, can you walk like a savior? I'm just a nobody, trying to tell everybody to sweep around your own front door before you come knocking for more. You see, love is the answer. We can heal the world and save the girl. Listen, cause heavy is the head that wears the crown. They can't hold God down, cause life ain't nothing but a testimony. But still I rise to the heaven only, with my hands stretched out. It's so good to be blessed. It's so good. So good to be blessed. So good to be blessed. It's so good to be blessed. So good to be blessed.
Yeah, we right back with you, Yale Radiocast. This is the Mail Review, but we got a little bit of a special edition going on right now. We got my man Nemesi in the building, and we got some queendom in here now, y'all, representing Duval to the fullest.
Hey, well, what can I say? Well, I met Miss Regina about a year ago. I was shooting a video for Get In Line down at this garage, and she saw us over there shooting the video. She was real in tune with what was going on, and then she was like, well, can I get in? She didn't say that. The other guy wanted to see if she could get in on it. I was like, well, yeah, let's get her in on it, man.
Word.
So she came, man. I was so happy that she was there because she added the contrast for the video that was needed. So we needed that different energy there.
Right.
So she came on deck, and we've been cool ever since, man. She came with just a wealth of knowledge on other aspects of entertainment.
Right.
Entertainment, fashion, business. So I knew that it was another person that I wanted to be in that circle, because you want to keep greater people around. And she's been super supportive. Every event, she's there. Ain't nothing like dealing with people that are motivated and bring a certain energy to the table at every event.
Right.
So that's pretty much, man. That's what I appreciate. She's being a little modest about it.
Right.
But like you said, it's something to have people that support a vision.
Right.
And they
No
can
doubt.
find their place in a vision where they can also grow
Right.
in their own space, but also everything end up co-supporting, just like Mr. Dollar's vision to move Yale podcast to move this Radiocast forward.
Yeah.
You got to have support, man.
Got to.
Got to have support. So like you said, you want the people to smell their roses while they're living.
While they're here,
hey,
bro.
I'm telling you that I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Being there in the corner, supporting the 23 vision.
So again, how long have you been doing what you do, ma'am?
Well, I've been doing what I do for us fashion design like the last 22 years.
Okay.
And, so I just do my creativity, as I move along in life.
Right. Now, the way that you respond is as an artist, right? Because when I hear you speak about fashion design as a passion, I can tell that you love it. You ain't stopped smiling since you got here. So that tells me that you really have a love for what you do. Mm-hmm. So who or what inspires you as an artistic visionary?
I inspires myself. I don't it's not no one individual or who. I just see it and I just do it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Okay, so Sincere, we're gonna go ahead and ask. We're gonna head maybe into this next song. Maybe into the next song. Nemesi, tell us about what led us into the next song, Get In Line, because you said Regina is a part of that video. But before we go in this, let's talk about So Good to Be Blessed, because I know a lot that went on with that video and how it plays stuff. Because I feel like I was supposed to be in the video. I didn't make my way to the video shoot.
That's for next time around, right? That's what you're setting up for the next time? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying to set up to how we got. I just want to lead into what was the purpose of So Good to Be Blessed, leading to get in line, and how did I miss both video shoots? Because you called me about each one.
What? Because you blessed and in line.
I'm blessed and in line.
Both of them joints would have been perfect.
Yes.
Well, look, I got to give it to I got to give it to Darlin. He had the opportunity to be a part of So Good to Be Blessed, and he was. It was just wasn't directly. It was like sort of indirectly. But I called him, and he had the Wicker twins. I got to give big shouts out, and he hooked. I said, man, I need this presence in the video. And he made that happen, man, and just like that, they were there. And
Tell them the direction and the purpose of So Good to Be Blessed, because we heard the song, we haven't went into it, and what was the idea and the concept and the purpose of it. Then we're going to get in line.
Well, the idea behind it was to take something that we say all the time that we're very familiar with. So good to be blessed. We hear people say that, so I just sort of wanted, almost like a call and response. So you want to get people in tune with something that they already vibrate on.
Right.
They already vibrate on that frequency. So good to be blessed. So I just wanted to tap into something like I grew up in the, back in the old church back in the day.
No doubt.
So you will hear a lot of the wordplay will be associated with things that they used to say back in the old churches. Like sweep around your own front door. Before you come trying to sweep around mine. That's
no doubt.
So it's just to tap. I needed to recalibrate on that particular song. So just to tune in, and then I had to drop everything because it's busy. Go. So you got to tap into that spiritual part of yourself, and that allowed me to be able to tap back into the roots.
Right.
And
okay, so that was a good concept. The concept from what it was brought to me was, just helping somebody out from what, if you see in the video, a woman that was struggling, down on her luck, and somebody who's waking up in his life and what he go through in his daily life activities, he's doing good. So, and this is how this ties in, because him being in his position versus somebody in her position, a woman with kids, the Wicker twins, shout out to the Wicker twins. No Look at them on Instagram.
Killing it.
Trending big.
Proud of them,
oh my God. Look at a million hits, a million views, a million followers on Twitter, YouTube and whatever. So I say, well, hey, I could kind of hook you up, brother. I say, yo, D, bro, we shooting the video over here. Just make it over here. Now, let's just circle back to the caller saying, and you don't even have a car. I couldn't get that.
Hey, play a nigga some wheels at that point in time.
I mean, you're right. What more you want to say?
It is what it is. It ain't no secret.
It wasn't a secret. Like you're right. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't make it to that, but once I saw that finished product, I didn't even need to be there.
Right.
The point was made.
The contribution was
there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was looking for a woman and a daughter. I brought him a woman and two daughters that were twins, so they had more of an impact to the video of, let me help these this couple out, this family out. You know what I'm saying? He waking up and living life like glorious. Brush my teeth. I'm living the good life.
He wanted me to explain the treatment.
Explain the treatment.
So where did the treatment come from? I was saying what inspired the treatment. But you're absolutely right. Yeah. We used that treatment. That storyboard was just coming from the perspective of a guy who had a home. He had been successful, very successful, and in all that success, he still deals with trials. So his car broke down on him.
Right.
So in the midst of his struggles with, my car broke down, in the middle of that, he look over and see a mother and two kids in distress. So he leaves out of his situation, because they said sometimes you got to step out of your situation.
No doubt about it.
So you can appreciate things. So he made a better situation for them and provided them with a place to stay, a home, and the whole nine. and then he continued to be blessed in abundance afterwards.
Yes.
So,
Oh, no doubt. That's how it works, brother.
yeah.
Passing on the blessings, as they say. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So let's just ride into this next song. Yeah, let's just go ahead and go into the next track that we were discussing. The Get in Line track. What is that inspiration?
Well, again, I got to give it up to Mr. Frank Lovejoy for creating
Shout out
the
to Frank
music.
Lovejoy.
You know, his background is pretty much in the era of jazz, and he brought that element. So I had to sort of be creative in a different way as opposed to a traditional hip hop and this. But in any case, Get in Line, man, it made me think about how we can be down on our luck, like down on our luck and going through our troubles every day, but you never get a chance to voice yours because the people you encounter always want to get theirs in first. So it's like at some point you got to say, hold up, man, just get in line, bro. I listened to you yesterday, the day before that. I'm like, nigga, I'm gonna get in line today, just get in line.
Bro, that's a fact.
So I'm going through it today. So you'll notice that the opening of the video, I ran up. I'm already running late for work. So boy, he digging my, he get all up in me about that. But what he didn't understand, my paradigm was on the way to work, I'm going through the Crown Royal bag trying to get change to pay for gas money. Right. So it just highlighted, some of those things, those issues and problems. It just highlighted those, man, and it's in a garage, and I use the garage almost like people use barbershops. It represented what a barbershop means to brothers. We go to the barbershop. Right. Well, they do the same thing at the garage. Mm-hmm. And then it just had that she was there, so I wanted to have that other layer. Right. So she was able to add that dynamic to like, man, this is believable. This is what goes on with it. But get in line. Talk about everybody. It's all about everybody. Everybody feel this way sometimes. Everybody play this way sometimes. Everybody pay this way sometimes. And everybody get in line, get in line. Everybody feel this way sometimes. Everybody play this way sometimes. Everybody pay this way sometimes. And everybody get in line, get in line. Cruise to the sound of my voice, but pay attention. So many levels in this dimension. I'm like brain cell sex. Everybody get what's next. I'm so slick with the talking points. Everybody in the joint, make the middle finger point. Hey, if you been through a little bit, well down the road it's some more shit. Cause problems don't ever quit. Ask Papa about that player shit. And he'll tell you, what goes around comes around, nigga, break it down. Everybody feel this way sometimes. Everybody talk this way sometimes. Everybody roll this way sometimes. And everybody get in line, get in line. Everybody feel this way sometimes. Everybody play this way sometimes. Everybody pay this way sometimes. Get in line, get in line. I set the stage on the first verse. Gave birth to the universe. Got everybody saying, goddamn, I'm pissed. They ain't paying me enough to put up with this. When I get my life straight, I'ma quit this shit. But on the real, got to hit this shit. Working 9 to 5, then that hustle shit. Chillin', hustle shit. Chillin', hustle shit. Back to 9 to 5, living for the weekend, baby, gotta survive. From hump day, skip to payday. And every day, it's a bill day. From hump day, skip to payday. And every day, it's a meal day. Groove if you feel me. Everybody feel this way sometimes. Everybody play this way sometimes. Everybody pay this way sometimes. And everybody get in line, get in line. Everybody feel this way sometimes. Everybody play this way sometimes. Everybody pay this way sometimes. Get in line, get in line. Get in line, get in line.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm gonna just say, man, that track right there, boy. Everybody feel this way sometimes.
It's a rider, man.
Listen, that right there, man. I'm throwing that in the rotation immediately.
You got to.
It's a banger. It's a banger, man. Welcome back to Yale Radiocast. Welcome back to the Mail Review. Welcome back, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in again on this. What are we calling this?
We are all countries matter Saturday.
And but I mean, y'all got a barbecue out there. Just shoot me your number. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna eat barbecue under protest.
Shrimp on the bar.
Under protest.
Speaking of the protest,
wait a minute,
Mr. Nemesi, how did you feel about being out at the protest?
Nemesi, what was going on at the protest?
He didn't think I was gonna catch. He didn't think I was gonna go there.
Listen,
he didn't think I was gonna catch.
Look here.
He had to click. He had to turn the phone off and everything.
If you'd heard the show at the beginning, you'd know this motherfucker ain't. Go ahead, bro.
No, man, I had to do it, bro. I had to do it, man, because again, you know I'm from Mississippi.
Yeah.
So you know how I feel about all of the racial, anything
racial.
No,
we don't know. Tell us how you feel about it.
Please do.
For years, I was pissed off. It was one of the driving forces for my creativity.
Okay.
To address injustice, our social, our economics, all our different woes and aches in the black community.
Okay.
So I just feel like my head is in a cloud just being in this moment. So I don't do the things that I used to do because that's a whole different level of energy.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, well, I'll be damned if I'm going to sit back and not support them.
Right.
So what they doing, I'm military minded. I said, these are frontline soldiers out there getting it in. So now what they need is the next echelon of leadership.
They need some direction.
To give them direction so they don't lose the momentum of the movement.
Right.
So I'm out there to say, yeah, you're doing good. Great job. Hey, but now let's talk about the plan.
Right. The plan.
This is where the energy goes next. So I started posting people that presented plans.
Okay.
So like Dr. Claude Anderson, he came up with a plan.
No doubt.
Even Farrakhan had a plan.
How many times you done talked about Dr. Claude Anderson over there, man?
Yeah, brother.
So
man, one of our brightest scholars.
Man, look.
Yeah.
And then it just hurts that so many people don't tap into what people already done. I'm like, they already fought this battle.
Bro.
They already have the plan, blueprint. So let's take that energy out there, marching and doing all that's great.
Right.
But now we need this to impact policy.
Right.
So that's why
that's usually the hardest step is to try to go ahead and translate that into action. Mm-hmm. Not just, I understand, yes, we're angry. Mm-hmm. We're pissed off. I mean, we've been through trauma. We've been talking about this. Mm-hmm. And this is our roar. Yeah. But now, once you hear a lion roar, then that means that there's an attack is imminent, meaning something is about to change right now.
Right.
That's it.
And anybody who don't want to be caught up in that need to get the hell out the way, because anybody who's in the way finna get chewed up.
Yeah,
so we need the teeth. And so, yeah, absolutely, you are correct. We need to be able to direct that energy. Because the energy, we know the energy is there.
Yes.
We sick of it. We tired, y'all. We tired. So I know it definitely. And, okay, so just tying that into a little bit of what we've talked about, does any of that trigger anything in you emotionally that you don't think you can handle based on everything else you've had to deal with? Or is it something that you realize is it was business as usual plus some? Do you understand what I mean?
I tell you what, man, emotionally, truth be told, I never thought I would see a Confederate symbol, something that's symbolic as a Confederate flag of Mississippi come down.
Yeah, man, that was huge.
So it was very emotional for me. I think more so than probably some people.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, it broke me down. I'm getting emotional thinking about how psychologically we're impacted. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Growing up we watched the Dukes of Hazzards.
Oh man,
Dukes of Hazzards.
That was my favorite show.
And everybody wanted to get the General Lee.
We all wanted the General Lee.
So, but symbolically, what that represented was my oppression.
Yes,
right.
But in ignorance, I'm celebrating the oppression. Just like a Sambo.
Right.
I'm doing the dance, and when you realize how foolish, it impacts me in a very emotional way, bro.
Yeah.
Like I said, Mississippi is. I understand where Nina Simone said when she said Mississippi.
Goddamn. Yeah,
man.
So man, it just it just chills me now, even to think that I wonder what David Banner thinking now when on his album, one of his albums, at the end of it was in defeat. He defeated the Confederate flag or the Confederacy, but it's just so much intertwined into that, man, and that's a whole nother show, bro.
Yeah, that's another show.
Just thinking about that.
I hear you, and it is emotional. Every time I see this stuff happening, I think the biggest part of the emotion, believe it or not, that comes from me is how in the hell can y'all not see this shit?
Oh man,
I don't care. You can show you can write a script. Y'all go to the movies. Yeah. You know the difference between the good guy and the bad guy. You've been watching cowboy pictures and westerns all your life, and you can't see this.
Correct. TR, what you got to add on to this, man? If you listen, where you at with it?
Not much. I mean, I see, everything like personal perception on a lot of things. We are mentally trained as even youth. Go back in my days in Pensacola or whatever, I felt like, the normalcy of even me being harassed by police officers. Me and you talked about this. You know what I'm saying? It started to get to the point where you start seeing certain things as a certain type of normal. So, psychologically speaking, what y'all were talking about earlier, that'll put a drain on you. That'll deal with you psychologically even before you get off into the military.
Yes.
You view things as being a certain way, just how it is, and you deal with it not knowing what you're taking from that.
Right, correct.
Dude, when I got to my first school, I swear to God, my first bunkmate after I came out of boot camp and went into school, this dude was from Washington State, white boy, about 6'2". And he was like, you're pretty cool for a colored guy. I said, is this 1965?
I'm gonna tell you something.
A colored guy.
Hey, but that's the idealism that we deal with, and what you were saying is so powerful, man. Kwame Ture, aka Carmichael, said there's a difference between mobilization and organization. So we have to understand the difference between the two. Right, so we moving, we mobilizing, but what's the strategy? After you go march and protest? Like the reason for the protesting is asking for something, which leads to the work that I do today with youth as an activist. So it's like for me, it's I love the energy. Now the energy has to be channeled, directed, so we can get results. Because they've gotten accustomed to us pumping in pageantry, signs, yelling at the Capitol. Now what? What happens after that? So now we have to take what Dr. King and them did and what we've been doing. Now we have to elevate that and take it to the next level. Right? So what's the ask? Right? And do we even know what to ask for? Like when we take a look at these scholars that we're talking about, see, they understood by research and study and knowing the system and dissecting it, which is what another one of our great scholars, Dr. John Henry Clark, talked about. You got to know your enemy.
Yeah, you do.
You got to know what you're dealing with to be able to properly formulate a plan.
Isn't it funny that this is all military tactics? Just saying.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Just pointing it out.
Which came from us, but
correct.
But we ain't trying to go into the history lesson right now.
Right.
What we illustrating is the point that after you do that, there's the next step.
Yeah.
Right. I have.
But you know what? I
have a 3-point system.
I will say perfect segue on that, my brother. You know that we're supposed to have Billy D in the studio next week. Accountable Youth. We're talking about our young people that are really the forefront. We've got to commend our young black people or whatever. We're not talking about the crazy ones that's just out there stealing and looting just because. We're talking about the ones that is taking this charge forward and saying that we're not going to put up with this any longer.
No doubt.
And we actually have a guest coming in next week, Mr. Billy D. Williams, that's his real name. Yes. And the group that he has, nonprofit, is Accountable Youth. And we're going to be advertising or whatever for a little bit for that. But in the studio next weekend, which is a perfect segue from where we are right now, is our youth, how they see it, what are they going to do, what do we see them doing, what are we doing with them.
Right, man, and that speaks to. I talked about work earlier. Like I have a monthly show called the Arts and Culture Show that's held on the East Side, where we actually talking about some of these things and breaking it down and really getting these youth and some of our adults in these books so they can understand what has going on, so we can understand how this thing is put together, so we can deal with it properly moving forward, and we're not just thinking that it's a nuanced type situation.
Right.
I have another dynamic that I sort of been at odds with, and I understand that we have to do things to push policy, and that's a whole process. But just this little circle right here.
Right.
One of the things that I found a little conflicting for me even today. They said, "Well, you're going to celebrate the 4th of July."
The what?
Versus, the Juneteenth.
Right.
See, here's the thing. Everybody can go into their particular corners.
Yeah.
It's like everybody was dealt the hand that they were dealt in.
Yeah.
So at some point, we got to come to the table.
Right.
So we in America.
Yeah.
And most of us probably not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
So whether it's Juneteenth, well, we know that was freedom for us.
Right.
Allegedly.
But
no, Juneteenth was a freedom for us.
That was
across
us.
the board.
That was us. We found out a few days later, but for the most part, we know what that represents.
What it represents. Okay.
Right.
Now for Independence Day, we can say some people can say white America. But we are Americans under the Constitution that as a service member.
Right, and we're conflicted knowing that we served our country.
Yeah,
but we went to defend the Constitution.
Right,
correct.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's those amendments that we uphold supposedly as citizens after the 3/5 of an animal. But here's the thing: we have to come somewhere to the middle and say, well, what do we celebrate? When do we celebrate? Are we a part or are we not a part? Do we strive to be a part?
So would you strive to be a part? Because I know, and if anybody who follows me that doesn't take my post personally, know. Oh yeah, I'm going there. Everybody knows that I direct my opinions directly. This is how I feel about this certain topic.
Right.
I love the fact that I served in the military. I love the fact that I defended my country. What I am upset with is that I have to fight for the same equality in this country that I defended, that my brothers here, everybody on this platform right now has defended and fought for. Meanwhile, y'all all out here saying how we should act, and y'all scared to even be a part of this defending of this country. Get started.
Oh, get started.
Pass the collection plate.
Get started.
I feel a way about it. I should have the rights that you don't even deserve to have.
Right.
There lies my question. I don't feel bad about celebrating on both sides of it, because again, we are part of that 1%, less than 1% of the nation that raised our hands and said we will go and do this, regardless of what the reason is. Regardless of what the reason was.
Blank check, bro.
You still served in defense of this Constitution. We pay taxes.
True. Right.
So what I'm saying is we have to come to a place where we can't get caught up in smoke screens. It's okay to celebrate both. That's the way I feel. Because, and I feel that way maybe because I
Yeah. I just can't
got it.
because I don't feel like my people has had the
luxury
of so-called independence and freedom. Now we are free by the general terminology, but are we actually?
Documentation.
Documentation.
Right.
Are we actually technically free? Because look how we're treated. So I'm torn myself. I'm torn myself, and I wake up on these days, and I'm like, damn, man.
That's bullshit.
I want to feel like the 4th of July is for me, and I felt this way ever since I've gotten out of my own. When I've awakened to the level that I'm at right now, I would put it.
Yeah,
I think it's okay to redefine things out of truth, man.
Okay,
as long as it's coming out of truth,
right?
It's okay. You redefine it.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand what 1776. I get it. I wasn't there, so I get it. But I got a right to celebrate, to acknowledge what happened during Juneteenth. I got a right to acknowledge that.
Right.
And as long as everybody is acknowledging it, it'd be different if they say screw June 19th because slavery never happened.
Right.
But if it's there, hey, it's along with everything else.
Right. It's hey,
so
what they say.
So
Black history is American history.
Again, this is one of those things when you start talking about macro and micro.
Yeah.
You're supporting it.
I guess I agree theoretically.
You're supporting it. In fact, you are indeed paying taxes that fund Independence Day, 4th of July.
I'm just saying theoretically,
we all in
theoretically, not from their side.
The experiment, we're all on board. Because if not, we'd have left here.
Theoretically, I'm free.
Yeah.
But in actuality,
yeah.
Well, so let me bring the middle perspective here, because this is like what we're doing is splitting hairs in a sense. And here's the thing: Juneteenth was to signify that all of us were free.
Yeah,
documentation wise, right?
Right.
And there's a saying that if all of us aren't free, then none of us are.
That's right.
Right. So now when you deal with July 4th, that is when the documentation was created.
Right.
Right. Through some urge of one of our great ancestors. Right. The black abolitionist.
Yeah.
Frederick Douglass.
Of course.
Right. So some of us were free, not all of us were.
Right.
Now, based on how we served, what we served, and the intentionality behind it, what we were told, right? And based on your level of consciousness.
At the time, or you mean now?
Right. Then and now.
Okay.
Right then and now.
Yeah.
So our intentionality was to serve this country based on how it was set up.
The belief
what we were
happened
told
on the 4th of July.
Right. We're serving the country for our fellow family, communities, this country itself, the values that it stands on, even though there's some of them we don't agree with.
Right.
But some of our grandfathers did the same thing.
That's like them. That's like the fight where you like a ride or die with you.
Right. Now
whether you on the right or the wrong. Right.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
So we're going somewhere with this. Now, with all of that concern, what you're saying, brother, is absolutely on point. Right. We have the liberty to be able to choose.
Okay.
Right. So here's the thing. I could choose both, or I could choose one,
or neither.
Right. Right. Or neither. Right. Now I don't know why you would choose neither, but
I'm just saying.
But the thing is this.
Candace
Owens. The thing is this. We all have choice.
We have a choice.
We absolutely do have a choice.
And we got a lot of fireworks.
But we need to make informed choices because the information is there.
Okay.
That's why I say when you say Frederick Douglass, he made a speech about what the 4th of July meant to him.
Yes, he did.
No doubt.
They had his kids do it.
And it was very powerful for that moment.
Right.
I highly doubt he would make the same speech now.
Boy.
No doubt.
He wouldn't make that same speech now.
You don't think so?
So that's why I say we cannot act like we're back there.
Right. Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah,
we can go out.
Here.
That's why people they tearing down statues like, man, look. they would have been had people strung up over just the notion of doing, and doing those type of acts.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, again, we went and fought for that Constitution, and I pay taxes as an American, and I want to make it happen. Whatever is going to benefit my generations after me.
Right.
So here's the thing: you got to go back and get the blueprint, because again, they've already fought like that frustrating war.
Yeah.
Like that's that movement of we gonna go out. No, but let's go and study their blueprint now, because they said, well, this is how we mobilize and move. This is how we get. This is how we get reparations.
Right.
Yeah.
They already did.
Can I say this real quick? Whatever you celebrate, just don't celebrate it in ignorance.
Right.
Don't get out there and don't know why you're celebrating.
Okay, then.
I don't
That makes
celebrate
sense.
neither one. And I'm gonna be honest with you. And the reason I do is not because I don't understand it. It's just because I don't want to sit over a barbecue grill slaving or whatever at this moment, because I ain't got a good barbecue grill. But let's be honest. The understanding is still there. I know why there's a Juneteenth, and I know why there's a 4th of July.
Right.
And for whatever reason, I'm not ignorant on either subject. The same way that we celebrate Christmas, and a lot of people not knowing that it was a pagan holiday.
Right.
You know, and the origins was a pagan holiday. And that doesn't take me away from celebrating Christmas. I just teach my babies why I celebrate Christmas and why they should be celebrating Christmas, because it's not about the presents.
That makes sense.
Okay.
All I'm saying in all of that is, brothers, let's agree on one thing. Let's celebrate with intelligence. We know why we're celebrating, because there's a lot of fools out here that don't even know why they're celebrating. They just cooking up some hot dogs.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I say we got to move. We got to move, and not in smoke screens. We got to move intentional and with purpose, and
knowledge
like you
and
said,
wisdom.
understanding knowledge the whole nine. Because they already laid it out for us. So like Dr. John Henry Clark, or you can go pick one. I don't care.
Ben.
I don't care if it's Dr. Ben Yakin. I don't care if
Yeah.
it's Elijah Muhammad. I don't care if it's even Farrakhan for that matter. But the people that have the plans, that have did the work, have did the due diligence and the studies, we just got to pick up that blueprint.
Learn about
Hey,
Dr.
man.
Francis Cress Welsing. Learn about great scholars that did the work.
Right.
So we stand on their shoulders.
Okay, so Mr. Nemesi, man, this has been a good interview. This has been a good day, man. We are running on a 4-hour show.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
chopping it up in here.
We went deep today, man.
That first hour was all about. Never mind.
Boy, you won't let that go.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. It has been a fantastic show.
It has been a fantastic show.
I've enjoyed it.
Mr. Ernest Baskins, aka Nemesi.
Brother Nemesi.
Let everybody know where they need to reach you at and how they need to get in contact with the Soldier 23 project, which is a great logo, by the way, done by an outstanding graphic designer in himself.
Hey,
What?
hey.
We won't call any names, but Dylan did it.
Yes. Right on. Dylan did it.
No, they can go to www.soldier23project.com, and they'll be able to get in contact with me there, or they can go to TICSI-GA.com, and that's the 501c3 nonprofit that we are a program under. So if they go to those sites, both of them are interlinked, and they can find out all the information about it.
Okay.
So,
Excellent.
Last words, my guy.
last words. What is a madman or set up rage? Physical context trapped in a cage. Looking for a scapegoat, someone to point the finger. Transcend your mind or leave yourself lingering. On those hard times, stuck on old mind. No time for change, push play, then rewind. Check yourself, define yourself. Where you at, you don't know, cause you satisfied with that. I work hard to get where I'm going to. You blame the man for doing what you do. Kill the brother with the systematic voodoo. Wondering why it doesn't get any better. Engage your mind, cock the hammer and get ready. Sister and brother gotta die over bullshit. Doctor lawyer, here go to reset. You don't give a damn cause you cater to the man. Motion is movement of limb without plan. Thought is the concept, plan is the pre-prep. Get your shit together, and action is our next step.
Yeah.
So that's my words, man.
Let's get
That is
it.
dope, right?
Sincere, well, we got to get this talented people out of the way. Sincere, you next.
Wait, I'm finna write this freestyle.
No, I said the talented people.
my
I said
bad.
the talented people.
You kept my mixtape
Yes,
on the
I
shelf
said-
for 12 years.
No, I got your release date. It's going to be sold at the Circle K. Let me get the talented people out the way, please.
Oh man, hey man, I love it. I love it, man. But hey, I just got this for you, man. Come out into the art space out here in Atlanta, the Arts and Culture Show. The next one is coming up next week. I'm hosting the Black Debonaires event where we celebrating brothers, we celebrating fathers, and that show was put together by women. And then my next show is going to be centered around Why Should I Get Married? So that's going to be a dope event, also put together by a sister. I'll be hosting it and also orchestrating that event. So stay connected. Make sure that you tune in to Yale Radiocast, because if you ain't here, you ain't nowhere. It's the Mail Review, y'all. Stay locked.
TR, what you got, my guy? Brother man.
I'm gonna be a part of the talented part.
No, you're just a lie.
You ain't got to finish it off. All I have to say is, Brother Nemesi, we really and truly appreciate you. I think you have done a number as far as informative, as far as this VA go for all the brothers on the forum. I mean, on the platform right now. I mean, you have really done your due diligence coming in, helping, I think, each and every one of us, if I can speak for us. And I will say, would you try your best to come back, my brother?
Hey, for sure. We'll make that time. Because
done deal.
Veterans benefits matter.
No doubt about it. Big facts.
They showed.
That's a shirt. Ooh, that's a shirt.
Veterans vet bennies matter. Vet bennies matter. That's it. That's a whole shirt.
Okay, so any last other words to y'all about the topic today, the other half?
No, just next week. Be looking for that big, huge show. All of us coming back together to the forefront, along with Accountable Youth, Mr. Billy D. Williams. He's going to be in town from North Carolina.
It works
talking
every
about
time.
Current events and talking about things that I know that everybody's going to be interested in.
Yeah.
All right, Marcus.
Yes, sir. Basically, man, I appreciate you coming in today, brother. It was good meeting you. It was good chopping it up with you, and thank you so much for coming to the Mail Review today.
Man.
Definitely, I'm with TR. Definitely come back, and veteran benefits do absolutely matter. I think this has definitely been an eye-opening experience, and I think that we can move forward. And I'm gonna go ahead and hit the VA site and go ahead and try to get my stuff together.
First
see what
step,
I
get
can
registered
do.
first, brother.
Get registered. I gotta register. Gotta get
Yeah.
registered. That's what I'm gonna do.
Run
I'm
out
gonna do
there,
my
do
thing, man. And because I could probably talk to somebody. I might be off just a little bit slightly.
Oh shit, I'm crazy. So
might be.
So we gonna.
I always say that I don't think that the doctors that are gonna go to school to come up with the medicine that's gonna be able to treat me haven't been born yet. Right. So I need you to be worried that I'm out there.
Something tells me you're guaranteed a check.
Hey, absolutely. They should have gave me 100%.
Hey, just get struck by lightning. You'll be all right.
Is that what I gotta do?
Yeah, I got struck by lightning. I'm talking shit.
Hey, man, I'm terrible. I'm terrible. The lightning was like, nah, you good. The last dude we hit.
Circling in too.
Right.
That's what we gonna tell the homie Miss Kia.
That's it.
Like, don't take nothing personal.
We're in overtime, ladies and gentlemen.
I hope they don't take it personal, because the people that they give props to was the one that's running the gauntlet on them.
Hey, that's it. But check this out. You the one that brought us all together.
Yes.
So it wouldn't be no this without you, brother. So I want to commend you, man.
Thank you.
And
Obviously,
TR
you're a
for
lightning
holding this
rod,
down.
apparently.
Yeah.
Raiden. I am Raiden. Woo! Yes, I am
bro.
Raiden.
Hey, bro. That's what we doing.
I will be calling myself Raiden next week.
Raiden.
So I will be closing this show out. Y'all stop.
Let's go, bro.
I'm done with all of y'all. Apparently, this show is about growth, acceptance,
It is.
and understanding.
Absolutely.
On every level that we spoke of, from what we deal with in our personal lives and personal traumas.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? In relationships, as in tune with what we expect from people and what those people expect from us as well.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So I think everybody needs to kind of focus on that for themselves and kind of focus on that for the people that they have around them to help them better themselves and grow. You know what I'm saying? We all need that, even from all of our struggles, whether it be that you didn't have this and I did this for you, or it would have been like you struggled with this and you had to get past this for yourself. They didn't understand that part. Oh yeah. So I will say this to everybody tuning in. I appreciate you, but understand this: it takes a community.
Absolutely.
It takes who you got around you. You know what I'm saying? And even with who you got around you, you have to accept and understand yourself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? To know what you want from yourself and from those people around you. I have a good circle of men, the Male Review. We call ourselves the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Extraordinary.
Not that we think we're perfect or that we're great.
Damn sure ain't perfect.
That we try to find a way to enhance each other. I wouldn't change this platform right here for the world. Shout out to everybody tuned in. Shout out to everybody that called in.
Hey.
Shout out to everybody on the live feed.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brother Josh who had to step out.
Yep.
Shout out to the people that stepped in the studio to the people that's on the live feed. This is Yale Radiocast, the Male Review. This is called Conversation from a Man's Perspective. And we even got a young man in the background over there with TR is trying to mold this young man, you know what I'm saying, into a growing young man.
He got something to say.
I can't tell you what my motto is about kids, cause we can't talk about what my motto is about kids. FDK.
What makes you what they call a seed.
Oh Lord.
That's why people. But thank you everybody for tuning in, man. This is Yale Radiocast, the Male Review. Catch us next week, as we said. And if you don't, Marcus, finish it off. The model. What is it?
Y'all better get the business.
Yeah.
Yale Radio Cast.